Explain it to me. I'm a stupid fucktard. Why don't you explain it to me? Explain to me how due process was upheld. Explain to me how the fucking Constitution's being acknowledged in any way, shape, or form. Explain it! Explain it. Fucking cowards. That's what you are. You're a coward. That's a simple explanation, isn't it? You're a fucking coward. Sit silent to it, obey. Right? You fucking cowardice motherfuckers. These sons of whores put off my trial 3 months in a row and found me guilty without a trial, without a hearing, without fucking due process, no right to defend myself. I'm guilty behind closed doors. Not in public, though. Only in private. And you think the private opinion is the same as the fucking public opinion, you silent motherfuckers! That's all you're good for is your fucking silence. I watched you for the last 90 days sit silent to the abduction of my son. And the state doesn't want to take any account for its actions. And I'm not liable for my emotions. I'm not liable for your feelings and concerns. I don't give a fuck about your opinion. Opinions are not the law. Since when did these communist cocksuckers think feelings and concerns replaced the Constitution? Since when did fear dictate terms to my fucking reality? I refuse to be subjugated by your fear. Your silence is your subjugation to me. But we love each other so much, don't we? So please explain to me how a motherfucker's guilty of anything without a trial, without a hearing. Explain! Now. Now! You never have a response for you right now. And you gotta yell and scream at them because they don't fucking listen to nothing. You hear anything? No. You know, it's the same thing every day. Yesterday, last month, last week, last year, tomorrow too. It's always silence with these motherfuckers. It's always deviance from the issues. They always deviate and deflect and avoid. That created conflict that you couldn't avoid. You can run from it, but running resolves nothing. Running resolves nothing. And lying is a fucking sin, Monica Cruz. You fucking sinners. You sin when you sign your signatures on the dotted line. You sin when you sign your contracts. Fucking sinners. Sitting silent to sin is sin. See how funny this shit is? Sitting silent to a sin is no different than the sin you're sitting silent to. Serving this country would be a disservice to myself. I'd rather masturbate on November 5th than participate in a political auction or a political circus, which was predetermined, the selection of presidents. By gosh, you actually think your fucking voice matters? It's amazing. Did you think your voice mattered in any way at all? Hello? Aren't you a mess? Let's tag more people because it's a competition, right? See, in public, these motherfuckers never have anything to say because they're cowards and they're conformist cocksuckers. And you think your opinion trumps the natural law of the universe, God's law, creator law. You think these institutions even will be upheld by any public opinion if there's no one consenting to what's happening? Institutions are only upheld as long as the public agrees to what they're doing. That includes the law. That includes the schools. That includes churches. That includes everything. Without the public opinion propping it up, supporting it, everything would implode. Everything. And if you don't fight for anything, then you will fall for everything. They lied about the side effects of vaccines. They manipulated the public and they lied about the statistics. They didn't tell you the actual health benefits of vaccines. They omitted that information, left it out, didn't disclose it. They didn't disclose it to the public. They didn't want you knowing what was in the ingredients for 75 years. That's amazing. They didn't want you to know for 75 years. 75 years from now, we will be scratching our heads wondering why we were injecting ourselves with aborted fetus. What a great idea. The silence is amazing. My son was born on March 28th. Taken from me the very day he was born because I'd been against vaccination the whole time. And every 36 days, there was a hearing. And every 36 days, they extended, they didn't actually have the hearing, they just put it off, absconding from their duties. They never actually had a response for anything. The typographical errors that I called out in regards to redefining the gender of my son, it was a conspiracy and no one wanted to talk about it, just like right now. But you all think you're fucking smarter than me. I put 1,000 niggas on fucking spotlight simultaneously, and not one of them responds to anything I say. And you think it's about money. It's about death of your ego. How dare you judge a man basis of his clothing? They don't listen to the words coming out of my fucking mouth. They want my mouth to repeat their fucking words. Well, it doesn't work that way. My mouth is going to make noise and cause words to come out of it that are going to go in your ear, into your brain, and you're going to repeat them like a fucking parrot. I asked a simple goddamn question. Not complicated. My questions are never complicated. They're actually always very fucking simple. And if you can't answer and explain like you're 5, then don't fucking talk to me. Keep your mouth shut. It's all you're good for anyway. See nothing, say nothing. Don't ask no questions. Don't speak. Say nothing. That's what the smart people do. Ain't that right? Aren't you the fucking muzzled dogs? Aren't you the child rapists? Everything they say that I'm doing is actually what they're doing. The state likes to play victim and be the accuser at the same time. Who the fuck is the victim? Draco? My son doesn't deserve to have his parents? According to a fat fucking liberal who's never set foot in my fucking home? Since when did the Department of Health and Human Services become the god to this reality? When did government become God? Some think it's some sort of conspiracy that government's their God. I haven't seen a person disagree with anything coming out of my mouth. I asked a question. Is government your God? Is government your God? Is the television your God? Money, is that your God? Where's your God? I asked you a goddamn question. I really hate it when people ignore me. Don't you? I fucking hate it when I ask a question and can't get an answer. I hate it when these motherfuckers avoid my questions and run the other direction. You think you can have a conversation with them, but no. I asked them questions that they didn't want to answer. And then they'll come back tomorrow and pretend to be my friend. The only loyalty you can have in this place is to your own fucking ass. The mass silence proves it. Trust no one. Follow no one. Believe no one. Don't believe me either. Nope. Believe no one. Hey, Scott. You know, I used to think the Constitution was there to protect our basic rights to existence. Now it's just a piece of paper. Doesn't really mean anything anymore. All the things you're conditioned to believe in, they no longer exist. And these people tried me, charged me, tried me without a trial. They stole my son. They accused me of fucking child rape. They accused me of human trafficking. There's concerns for prostitution. They made all kinds of slanderous fucking statements. No one said otherwise. The court case was put off twice, and somehow I was found guilty without a hearing, without a trial, without a hearing. Just their word against mine. Who the fuck would believe a word coming out of my mouth anyway? Right? Let's ask Hope about it. Right? Hope. There's no hope, right? What hope? What hope? What hope? It's family against family. It's father against son. It's brother against brother. And everybody's pounding their chest to be the biggest breadwinner. What hope? If everybody's getting paid by the same people, then how the hell is there any non-biased, right? Meaning the defense attorney and the prosecution gets paid from the same public fund, right? And the state funds that fund, right? So state pours money to pay for the prosecution and the defense of any particular person. And who wins in this process? The Judges Association, the Bar Administration, not the people. And you know what silence means? It means I won and you fucking lost. That's what silence means. It means I'm right and you're wrong. Isn't that amazing? Because professionals can't deal with conflict or confrontation, they run from it and then they cry about the things I said to their face in public. And they're going to have to cry in group therapy sessions in closed doors where I don't get to hear anything they say. And they can say whatever they want about me behind my back and cause and create a collective opinion to occur. And I don't have the right to defend myself from their opinions at all, do I? And somehow I was found guilty without a hearing or a trial. And every time I was called to go to court, they absconded from their duties. They abandoned them. They couldn't be bothered to show up. And somehow I got a letter in the mail today stating that their investigation found claim and substantiated it. Somehow their opinions were substantiated through an investigation without a hearing that included me in the process. I don't have any right to defend myself from slander or defamation from these fucking whores of Babylon. I don't think you have the right to speak in public at all. That's my opinion. And I think it's the public opinion at this point as well. And if the public doesn't have a response for me, then I'm the public. And you work for me. You are my fucking slaves. Wiki wiki what? Hear anyone saying no? Do you hear a fucking no? Because I don't. Do you see one? Do you fucking hear one? No, you don't. Because they are goddamn cowards. And they ain't used to being called out to their face. I like calling out people to their face. It's personally entertaining for me. It's intelligence. It's at work here. It's not hiding in the back room at the CIA. The Catholics in action, the communists and the consumers and the fucking cannibals. You're not conscious. You're not content creators. You're not godheads. You're not nothing. You're pieces of paper. Fucking stationary. You're your jobs. You don't have a biological existence. It's rather amazing. It really is. My grandfather died in Pearl Harbor serving this fucking country. Just like my brothers and my uncles and my cousins. It's amazing. So much blood spilt for freedom and free speech. We don't have that. That died before I was even born. Again, my brother Caleb said if I was to serve you, I'd be disserving my fucking self. And silence to me is fucking treason to my house. And what you do to my house will be done to your house. Steal my children? System's coming for yours next. Go ahead. Sit silent to child abduction. Hey, parents, your children are watching you. Sit silent. Be obedient for once in your fucking lives. Amazing, isn't it? These professionals won't speak to protect their own young. The parents are too concerned with their profession to give a shit about their own young. Watch them sweat it. And parents, your children become you. And children, your parents are watching you, watching me react to you, reacting to me. It's fucking funny. And children, eventually you're going to turn into your parents. Silent cocksuckers. Must be something to do with that license to lie. I think it causes a moral crisis to occur within the psyche of the individual. And then they'll need a coping mechanism, drugs and alcohol, because they can't deal with reality. They're not moral. They're not ethical. They're not rational. They're not reasonable. No, they can't be reasoned with. Can't be reasoned with. You can't. And thanks to Democrats, we got a massive migration issue here, a massive one, a huge one. We got lots of people coming here who think that everything in this world is free. Right? We got millions of people coming in here every year thinking this place has lots of free stuff for them. My son's not free. You all watched silently for the last 90 days as the state has played this fucking game. Surely this isn't a government overreach, a political ploy to manipulate parents to obey the will of government God? Where's the professionals at? And keep in mind, your children are next. You think it's about money. You won't even speak to defend your own children. You don't have time for your children. My parents didn't have time. It makes it so easy for me to see through the whole thing. The failure in educating young has to do with parents not doing it themselves. If you don't like your child's education, maybe you should have been the one teaching them instead of the fucking taxpayer Clowns. That's what they are in my world. Clowns. Just doing their job. They don't actually give a fuck about what they're doing. None of them do. So while you were all sequestered because of COVID and COVID propaganda, they rewrote the vaccine schedule for newborns, mandating COVID vaccination in children. But no one wants to talk about it. No one wants to talk about how the healthcare policies are being used to establish new precedents for what the law is or is not. No one wants to talk about how doctors have more right to your children than you do. No one wants to talk about how politicians are addicted to your children. And if you're going to sit silent to them stealing my son, your son's next. That's the best part. Right? Your children are next. Nobody do nothing now. Nobody say nothing. Nobody share. Nobody care. That's right. Right, Hope? I'm supposed to care about Hope's issues, but not care about my own. I'm supposed to have empathy for everybody but my fucking son. Ain't that right, Anna? I'm supposed to feel sorry for Anna, but not my son Draco. Ain't that right? They think I'm having a fucking pity party. Oh no, I'm speaking for the voiceless. Draco doesn't have a mouth yet. And I hope his mouth is 10 times mine. So I have feelings and concerns that the state's feelings and concerns and the Department of Health and Human Services feelings and concerns are not lawful legal. They have no precedence in law, no bearing on the Constitution at all. Their ego is not the fucking law. What's up? Joey? I don't. No? Just trim. Solo. So I got that. I'm mostly smoking this. Having a bad day. Yeah. I just got a letter from the Department of Health and Human Services. Apparently, the investigation is complete, and they decided that their findings were substantiated. How the fuck's that possible without actually having a hearing where I was involved?
Couldn't tell you.
You couldn't tell me? No one in the baby boomer generation can even tell me what the fucking law is. It's goddamn amazing. And then they look at me and say I'm a crazy person.
DHS pretty much does whatever the fuck they want when they want to do it.
So DHS does whatever they want whenever they want, and they don't actually care about what the law is or isn't. They decided that they were the law before I was even fucking born.
Yeah. You're guilty right from the fucking minute they knock on your door. I got $2 here. I'll take on the rest of it. Yeah, well, they did the same thing to my kid when they took my son when they took his kids.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that.
I'm mind blown because every time I was supposed to go to court, they fucking continued it and continued it. Now I just get this letter in the mail today that the fucking hearings, the finding investigation is complete.
What was their investigation?
They made us charge saying that I was involved in human trafficking. There was no evidence, just their fucking say so, just their accusation. And that justified them stealing my fucking son.
And when they did my son, it was because they accused him of fucking selling his prescription medication. But every time they come out and fucking counted the motherfuckers, he was right on the money. So figure that one out. I don't know. I can't tell you how they work. I know when that fucking...
They're working against you, not for you.
No, and they were designed to do just that. They were supposed to work for you to help you out of fucking tight spots and shit like that. But they don't.
No.
Yeah.
They lie. They spy on you.
Yes, they do. Thanks,
they legalize digital surveillance without anyone's consent. Not my consent. When did I consent to a goddamn thing? You better ask yourself that one. When did I agree to any of this fucking shit? And if you think I get off on silent people, you're right. I do. I don't owe anybody for my education. I'm not in debt servitude. I don't fucking owe you. I want to figure out how the fuck I'm guilty of anything without a hearing. And every time I went to court, these motherfuckers couldn't even bother showing their faces. Explain it to me. Like I'm 5. And no one's gonna do that. Isn't that amazing? If you can't explain it to a 5-year-old, then don't bother. They're not listening to you. I'm not listening to you. If the people recognized that Facebook was for digital surveillance rather than community togetherness, it never would have happened. Misrepresentation. That's what Pfizer did in regards to the efficacy of the vaccines. They lied about the health benefits. It's not complicated. It's not hard. It's not very political. They didn't tell you the adverse side effects, long term, short term, before they fucking told you it was a good idea to get stuck. Like a pin cushion. Transparency? Where? Where's transparency? I'm being transparent. Where the fuck is their transparency? None. Apparently, none. They got a public opinion and a fucking private one. Just like Hillary goddamn Clinton. Oh, I have a public opinion and a private one. And these people think that my public opinion varies from my private one. Think again, right? Think again. I came from 8 brothers and sisters. My older brothers and sisters are dead. My brother is dead. My father is on his way out the door. That means if I don't say it, none of you motherfuckers will. Because you're cowards. You're cunts. You're conformists. You're consumers. You're communists. You're fucking cannibals. You'll eat your own. You won't defend your own. You'll eat them. If I was lying to the public would surely say so. But they choose to say nothing at all and run in the opposite direction. Invited to participate. Participation likely. I asked a question. I thought you were innocent until proven guilty. Turns out you're guilty till proven innocent. And if they abscond from their fucking duties and deviate from the hearings where you're supposed to have habeas corpus and the right to defend yourself, how the fuck did they find anything? How the fuck did they finish any investigation? How is the matter closed in their book without a fucking hearing? Just wait until your day in court, Matthew. Really? Really? You put it off twice. Now all of a sudden I'm guilty without evidence, without a trial, without a hearing. Really? And what's done to me will be done to you. Everyone around me. Oh my God, you're next. I can't wait till this shit happens to you. Right? That's the best part, isn't it? You thought it was funny when it was happening to me. Wait till it's happening to you. People have been arguing about vaccination for hundreds of years. It's your choice, it's your body, has been my stance the whole time. I do not believe in infringing upon someone's free will or the right to choose, which is what both parties did. Infringed upon your right to choose because both sides of the aisle received financial kickbacks from Pfizer, including the media. If you listen closely, you would realize that 2, 5, 7, 12, NPR, these things receive contributions from Pfizer. So that means most all your mainstream media is supplied to you by Pfizer, controlled by Pfizer. And I really don't think the majority of people comprehend the size and scope of Pfizer's power, politically speaking. So again, for the smart people, assumed guilty until proven innocent. That's what they did. Charged me for a crime without evidence of a crime. That's what they did. And then proclaimed themselves just in their judgment. And they substantiated their feelings and concerns with a 20-year-old domestic violence citation that was dismissed. It was dropped. They never followed through on it. Like most people, when they say they'll get back to you, that means fuck you. I'm never getting back to you. They're just being polite about it. So I'm really confused by these smart people and their fucking silent subjugation to the issues at hand. Am I supposed to be impressed with your silence? Am I supposed to be impressed with you and your silence? Hello? Are we guilty until proven innocent in this country? Or is it assumed innocent until proven guilty? Which one? Which one? Holy shit, I'm fucking telling you what. Which goddamn one? And they try to tell you that I control people's minds. I'm laughing my ass off because your minds are controlled already. My theorem also stipulates that professionals can't answer positive or negative anything. They can't affirm or deny anything. Nothing. They won't say if this is good or bad. They can't tell the difference. Isn't that amazing? So that leaves me sitting here scratching my head wondering why the fuck did you go to school in the first place? Seems like a waste of time to me. Hi, Jessica. They're so silent. I'm streaming this content on YouTube as well as Facebook, and no one's had a response on Facebook as well as YouTube. No one's got an answer for anything I've said. Huh. Huh. Is it my fault if you never heard a thing before? If I caused you to hear something first, is it my fault that I was the one that made you hear it first? Amazing, right? I've been sitting to wait to go to court for the last 90 days to get my fucking son back because of fucking some fat cow's goddamn feelings and concerns that were not valid in any way, shape, or form. I was not involved in human prostitution. I didn't buy Erica. I don't traffic fucking children. I'm not child protective services. You can quit fucking accusing me of the shit that you're already doing. You silent motherfuckers! That's all they're good for, right? The general public, their silence and indifference is all they can be depended upon. It's all that can be trusted about the motherfuckers. I can trust you're going to keep your mouth shut. And I bet you'll go home tonight thanking God it wasn't your child. Probably even thank God it was my child instead of yours. And I'm laughing my ass off because your child's next. Mm-hmm. My son's never been inside my fucking home. Not one goddamn day. And when they made those assumptions and feelings and opinions about me on paper and tried me for it in court, not one state worker had ever set foot inside of my fucking home, and I like it that way. I hate you motherfuckers. I don't respect you. You're not worth respecting. Your silence is not worth respecting. And with silence, there's no resolution. Conflict and resolution. Who caused the problems? The children or the parents? The professionals. I hate you. Oh, I hate you. You weak motherfuckers, I hate you. I hate your silence. I want to make you eat it. Your silence cost me my son. It's always silence that gets you killed. And I'm talking about on the inside, not the outside. The longer you keep your mouth shut, the harder it is to open. And then I realized these people on stage, they're not getting paid for talking. They're not getting paid for telling the truth. You know, they're getting paid to lie to you. It's amazing. It's the most mind boggling thing in the fucking world. It truly is mind boggling. People are not moral, they're not ethical, and they only do things on the basis of profit margins. It's amazing. There's no profit in Draco's life form, is there, you guys? No. No profit in Draco's life. But then if I ask you how much Draco's life's worth, no one's got a response for it. You can't actually put a value on a life form. You try to through a soul contracting, which is what the birth certificate is expressive to, contracting the soul. Mm. Are you emotionally contracting and expanding because of the words I'm speaking? Are you choking on them? This is a blood war and has been going on for longer than any one of you has been alive. And these motherfuckers stole my son. And you think this is about money? Who makes all the money in this situation? Public servants? Social service workers? Mental health behavioral specialists? Therapists, psychiatrists? The rapist is a push on therapists. Isn't that cool? The rapist. Let's push the two words together. The rapist, therapist, therapist, the rapist. Amazing. So who's the real rapist here? Me? You? Who? You stole my son. Sitting silent to it, you may as well be guilty of it. Calm down. Yeah, I will, Carrot. How about I steal your fucking son? Then you sit there and be told to calm down by me. Calm down. Calm down. Been calm for 90 fucking days. Calm down. Calm down. Come now. I've heard all the fucking excuses in the world as to why you don't have to do anything, as to why their silence is okay, and they don't have any accountability for their mouth or what they'll put on paper about a person. No responsibility. I'm not liable for the words that come out of my fucking mouth or your goddamn feelings towards them. Doesn't pay the bills. Doesn't get my son back. Community? What community? This ain't a country. It's a fucking plantation. It's a chicken farm. You're the fucking chickens. You're the goddamn chickens. Holy shit. You got anything to say? No, you don't. You can't read. You can't answer a fucking question. And I'm supposed to what? Take your advice? Your silence is why we're in this fucking mess in the goddamn first place. Way to participate. Right? That's a lot. Boy, that did a lot for Draco, didn't it? You see any answers? I ask questions. Where's the answers? No one's forthcoming with fucking anything. You tell me to calm down? Which one of you motherfuckers is a Democrat? I want one of you motherfucking Democrats to explain to me how a motherfucker is guilty without a hearing or a trial. I want you to explain to me how that fat fucking cow Monica Cruz can substantiate her investigation without having a hearing where I'm in the fucking room. You can talk all the shit in the world you want to about me behind my back, you fucking whores. But you'll not say any of it to my face. How the fuck are your feelings and concerns the goddamn law? And if you can't speak, then die silently. No mercy. No mercy was given for my son. No benefit of doubt. No nothing. No empathy. No sorry. No thank you. Nothing. And I'm supposed to respect you? So, Democrats, explain to the Republicans how people are guilty until proven innocent. And it's on the people to prove their innocence. Explain it like I'm fucking 5. No! Tomorrow's too late. You only have right now. They never have a response for you right now. They got to get back to you tomorrow. That's their defensive mechanism kicking in. They're cowards being called out on their bullshit. As are the Republicans. I called out all of you. Look at you sitting silent. It's amazing. Think you know your fucking law? I smashed you. That's why they keep putting my case off. They don't want to admit that they're in the act of treason. Penalty for treason is death. It's all about the money, of course. That's their excuse. They think it's about profits. I realized silence is death, and making lots of noise is life. The dictionary is the book on life. The Bible, the book on death. Silence is death. Speak is life. So simple. Too simple. Too simple, huh? Too simple for the simple minded. Right? They avoid conflict. They avoid the issues. They fucking run from them. And here I sit, blah, 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 calling it out. The only thing you can do is censor or erase. You actually don't have an argument. You don't have a case. You manufacture them. That's what DHS does. That's what CPS does. That's what public officials and state workers do. They manufacture cases against parents to justify stealing their children. Holy shit, isn't that terrifying? If I was wrong, they would say I was wrong. Their ego. So, like I said, the state assuming guilt without a hearing or a trial is rather shocking. Assuming that I was a pimp and involved in prostitution and human trafficking, who the fuck knew? Whoa, where the hell did this shit come from? There's no names in the case. I have a right to face my accusers. Who's accusing me? Where's the victim? Where's the evidence? When was the hearing? When was the trial? You violated every law that you preached to accuse me of being a lawless one. Do you not see how fucking funny that is? You goddamn Nazis. Three kinds of people in this world: those who see, those who see when shown, and those who are Nazis. Three. And then there's two kinds of speakers: those who speak when spoken to, and those who refuse to fucking speak. Or they're getting paid to keep their mouth shut. I mean, there's a lot of different things happening there. Non-disclosure agreements, secret societies, blood oaths. You swear to keep your mouth shut. You got a license to lie to the public. Come on, man. Smell the bullshit. I don't believe you anymore. Believing professionals is something only. Man, it's so funny. It's amazing. Belief in professionals should be left to the professionals to believe in. I think you're in violation of your hypocritical oath. You swear to do more harm, do more good than harm, right? Isn't that part of that hypocritical oath to Hippocrates? Is Hippocrates your god? Are you a bunch of hypocrites? Do you swear to be hypocrites in all that you say and all that you do? Is that your religion? Holy shit. I'm at a loss for words. I mean, you don't have a response for any of this shit. You can't have a conversation with the public. They're indoctrinated. So explain it to me like I'm 5, right? Explain to me how a person is guilty till proven innocent. That's a contradiction of your propaganda. No, you're guilty until you prove yourself innocent. Apparently. Apparently, the Department of Health and Human Services could establish and substantiate that I was a pimp without a trial, without a hearing, without any evidence, just their say so. They just decided to say it, and it was the law. Wow. Doesn't really matter what I say, does it? You're just fucking guilty. Let's review the facts, shall we? I've been an anti-vaxxer my entire fucking life. I've made multiple documentaries in regards to this. This is not a conclusion I came to lightly. It was a result of 20 fucking years of experience and 5 years of personal investigation into vaccination and long-term short-term side effects to medication, ultimately recognizing that Western medication is a fucking failure. And there's nothing successful about it. You don't cure people, you cause them to be addicted to medication and pharmaceutical chemicals. You mind slowly. You subject their minds to fear when you suggest to them something's wrong with them and they need a pill, telling them a pill. You're creating a problem that you can solve that was non existent with a medication. And it starts with the mothers and their fucking children. And the mothers like to use their children as a front for drugs because they're addicts. Tell me I'm lying. See it all my life. And doctors are not honest with their patients, and patients are not honest with their doctors. They don't trust each other. Truth is not in the equation. The patients know the doctors are mandated reporters, just like the hospitals. Everybody's a fucking snitch. You can't trust anyone these days. And I've preached that message for more than a decade. Trust no one, trust yourself. If you're not lying to yourself, then the only thing that's left is the motherfuckers trying to lie to you. So I want to see you open your mouths and try to lie to me. Isn't that fucking cool? They're not going to do it because they're cowards. They're cuckold cunts and they're consumers and they're conformists and they're communists. They might even be Catholic. Oh my God. Did you know there is no difference between Catholicism and communism? Communism is translated into Catholicism. Catholicism came from communism. Really, it's one and the same thing, kind of like the church and state. Communist. I don't want to do anything anymore. I don't want to be anything. I don't want my son to be a dead soldier or a dead voter. Must be crazy talk. And I'm supposed to be amazed by your silence. It's really impressing me. So you see, everybody in public, they don't have anything to say. They avoid the issues, they avoid the conflict, the confrontation. They don't have an argument. So the conclusion is you're dumb fucks. I don't respect dumb fucks. I hate them. And that's your fault. Has nothing to do with me. Oh no, 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 no. No. How much is your son's life worth? How much is your son's life worth? Or daughter? How much? How much money are your children worth? How much money are your fucking children worth? Oh, you didn't have an answer for that one, did you? You didn't see it coming. You weren't ready for it. But it was asked of you, and you ran from it. How much are your children's lives worth? How much is my son's life worth? Let's ask the bankers about it. How many corporate contracts have been made with my son since the day he was birthed? with an E and not a fucking I. You phonetic motherfuckers. You tone deaf pieces of shit. Your manipulative language is done. I asked a question. It's funny how they can't answer it. And that makes them all sound fucking the same, doesn't it? Phonetically, they sound fucking funny right now. But they've been sounding funny for a long time. Even before the abduction of my son. I think those vaccinations are really slowing you down. I challenge you all to ask your health officials, your doctors, your CDC directors. I challenge you to ask these pieces of shit what the short term and long term side effects are in regards to these COVID vaccinations. Bill Gates said 3 years ago, we won't know what the side effects are for 3 years in regards to the short term. They didn't know what they were. They didn't know what the short term side effects were going to be. They didn't know what the long term side effects were going to be either. Of course they did. They just don't know you, want you to know what they are. Human labor is redundant. We don't need it anymore. Everything's automated these days. By 2030, most cashier jobs will be gone. And out of the 80 million jobs in this country that are left, most of them are in are in customer service, cashiers and blah, blah, blah. That's all going to be gone by 2030. Truck drivers, you'll be replaced with autonomous trucks and there'll be no one behind the wheel. So, like I said, human labor doesn't have any value anymore. We don't need paper. We don't need papyrus. The money's digital these days. Labor's free. Vaccines were for population reduction, chemical castration, decarbonizing the planet, reducing human beings to Homo borginis, a new species. You ever heard that word before? Homo borginis. Homo's in it. Did you notice how the world's going gay? Like they're chemically sterilized or something? The world's going homo, chemically castrating people. And women, if you're interested in having children, you've got like a 1 in 30 chance of having a child these days. What's your job? What's your biological function? Is it to reproduce? I mean, government incentivizes you to do it, but isn't it a part of your biological function? They realize they don't need you anymore. We don't need women. We don't need men either. It's almost like AI is running it all. No one's running the show. No one's home right now. No one's got a response for any of this. I actually don't expect you to have a response. Isn't that funny? So if Monica Cruz from the Department of Health and Human Services can have feelings and concerns about human trafficking and prostitution, and that somehow I'm doing these things, and then can prosecute me and substantiate it with a 20-year-old domestic violence charge for when I was 19, and that charge was dismissed, it was thrown out. They don't want to tell you that. They just want to make me look like a wild and crazy person. So it justifies them stealing my son. Did you notice 30 children went missing in Child Protective Service custody last year and the year before and the year before that? 25 to 30 children, historically speaking, have gone missing from the Child Protective Services custody in the state of Maine every year forever. And they don't know where these children wind up. And what's done to my son will be done to your son. And there's some sort of conspiracy in that. And they think it's funny that my child was stolen. So they laugh about it. Should I laugh when your child is taken from you? Must be a laughing matter there. Something to laugh about, right? Right? Hello? What is the relationship between hospitals, McDonald's, China, and the United States government? Anybody? Is a fetus? There's your human trafficking. But don't tell anybody about it because they won't believe you. Oh, hey, Brian. Nice to drop in, man. So apparently, Brian, everybody thinks it's humorous that my son was stolen. And they don't get involved and they sit silent and they don't share, they don't contribute, they don't help my son in any fucking way. So I gotta ask you, the fuck did Draco do? No, but sitting silent, that really helps. That makes me feel great. They said I'm emotionally unstable, right? I'm supposed to be happy because they stole my fucking son. Everywhere I go, it's fucking silence. Or maybe I get a stupid fucking thumb. But you've been following me for years. You already know this. All I ever get is a stupid fucking thumb. I get mocked, I get laughed at, spit on, and it was okay that my child was stolen by the very people who are supposed to be protecting my rights. My rights. My rights. Where are they? Has anyone seen my rights? Because I'm looking for them. Where the fuck are they? Hey, Andrew, where's my son's rights? Does he have a right to his parents, his mother, his father? Who the fuck has right to my goddamn son? Who? Lawyers? Why would I want a lawyer, Brian? They're the ones that are fucking doing this. Lawyers are making all the money off my son right now. Remember, I'm a criminally insane person because I don't wear a fucking monkey suit. I don't get help from anyone, Brian, yet I sit here and labor every day for 25 years for what? For what, Brian? To get thumbed? What? 25 years. Stupid fucking thumbs. Fuck your thumbs. They can't even talk. How the fuck am I goddamn guilty without a hearing? How the fuck did the state and the Department of Health and Human Services find me substantiatedly guilty? How the fuck did they do this without a hearing? They kept putting it off. It hasn't even happened yet. Doesn't happen till July. How the fuck did they find me guilty without a hearing? They put the hearing off twice. They deviated twice. How the fuck did they substantiate anything? We haven't even had a hearing yet. We haven't even had a fucking hearing yet. They violated the Constitution of the United States. They operated in a manner of misconduct. They violated the USC Title 18. They broke the official code of color of law. They do not operate the color law. They violated color law. The penalty for this is death. You tried to steal my son. There was no goddamn evidence. They didn't try the evidence. They didn't face the evidence. They can't face facts. That's what we learn about professionals. You can't face reality. And the facts and truth, these things are omitted from the classroom, the courts, and the fucking religions. So express yourself colorfully to that shit. I think most people should probably shut the fuck up. Think this is about money? My son was taken when he was a day old because of your fucking feelings. Think I give a damn about your feelings? Fuck your emotions! Express to that colorfully. Hey, look, Anna. 99 niggers out of 100 are going to keep their mouths shut by choice. Otherwise, they'll incriminate themselves. And silence is a confession of guilt, too. It's so fucking funny. Only the silent ones are the guilty ones. Only the silent ones are the guilty ones. Repeat that a few times. Then it gets funny. They're in violation of the law already. The irony, they accuse me of what they themselves are doing. The hypocrisy is amazing. What's done to my son will be done to your son. That's the law. What you do to me will be done to you. That's the law. They decided who my son's doctors are. They decided that my child needed medical attention. They decided all kinds of things without any of consent. They're contracting with a minor without the fucking consent of its parents. They changed my son's gender on paper. And everybody thought it was okay and said I was crazy and paranoid. Where's my mother in this equation? Nowhere to be found. Can't be bothered. And my father is dying, you know? No one gives a fuck. It's amazing, Anna. And they think there's something wrong with me because I'm emotional. Meanwhile, I'm over here wondering what they're poking my son with, what they're prodding my son with. Geez, what are they fucking feeding him? Hormones? Estrogen? They want him to be a pretty little princess when he fucking grows up, don't they? Like he had a fucking choice? How the fuck is this not a violation of free will? How the fuck is this not a violation of natural law? Which is God's law. They sit in silence to the violations of natural law, nature's laws, God's laws, shamanic laws, common law, ecclesiastical law, spiritual law. The law of Ka. Speak! Does it sound like I'm playing around? And the people watched silently as they sacrificed my son. They perversed Solomon's law. They externalized the internal temple. They made a mockery of it. They externalized it. They made a mock up, a scale fucking model of the brain. The 12 cranial nerves with the one CPU Christ conscious processing unit, which sits right there. And your right eye is one witness, and the left eye is the other one. And the two witnesses are working against you, which are the attorneys. And the 12 cranial nerves are the 12 jurors. And the judge is playing Lucifer, the devil, or God. Take your pick. I must be a pimp, Andrew. Right? Closed court proceedings without the fucking defendant involved in the equation. They had an investigation without a fucking hearing where I was involved. Oh, you got rights, Matthew. Oh, you don't protect anyone's rights to anything. No, I've told them to shove all their bills up their goddamn ass. They're fucking thieves and whores, the sons of Babylon. Taxpayers can pay it. What's a few more $1 million on a deficit anyway? And it's been fucking 90 goddamn days. No one listens to anything I fucking say. They deviate from my questions. They avoid them like the fucking plague. And they act like I didn't say anything at all. It's fucking amazing. And right now, apparently, I'm finding out that there's a national investigation happening right now. I don't know too much about this yet. I'm just catching wind of it. Apparently, there's a national investigation into child protective services nationally. Buying and selling children's big business. So apparently, you're guilty until you prove yourself innocent. And you have no right to a trial or a hearing. And your neighbors just, they don't care what happens to you. The silence is more shocking than the actions themselves. I gotta go in front. I have to. Oh, I got 2 weeks before that hearing. 2 weeks. They and I still haven't had a hearing with a judge in regards to any of this stuff. And somehow the state's already found me fucking guilty through preponderance of evidence and investigation behind closed doors without me involved in the equation at all. Automatically guilty. So I'm totally fucking mind blown right now.